Oh my god, nerd, are you okay? Hurry up, get up, go, get out of here, get out of here. We got an incoming spoiler alert. Incoming spoiler alert. You've been warned. Go, 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 nerd. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Queen X Lexi, coming at you, and our lovely co-host,
King X Rome.
Whoop, whoop. We're gonna actually have some direction today. I don't think we ever have direction when we do our podcast.
We try, but it never really works out that well.
You know, we're just gonna try to just focus on a few topics instead of 20 million. So with that, we're going to talk about what we've been watching, whether it's anime or a normal TV show, things like that. But I think I am the watcher in this lovely relationship, so we'll probably start with you. I mean, yeah, I guess.
I watch all kind of movies and TV shows.
That's true. I guess if you accumulate all of that, it equates to what I watch in anime. Pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think we'll still start with you and your watch list, and then we'll venture over into mine and see where the night takes us.
Okay.
I think that sounds great. So, first and foremost, you've been watching anime. That's just like, whoa, to me. Good way. It's you don't watch it as often as I do, but we've also decided that not a whole lot of people watch it as often as I do, so
yeah,
I set the bar pretty high. But what have you been watching? What is your favorite thing that you've watched so far that's like, dang, I could watch that again?
Honestly, probably what is it called? Hitnamaru Sumo. Did I say that right? Hitnamaru?
I think you said it right.
Hitnamaru Sumo?
Hinomaru Sumo. Yeah.
I could probably watch that, like, not immediately again, but like in another, 6 months or a year. Like, that could be a show that I rewatch, just in general.
Yeah.
It was good. I did really, really, really enjoy it.
Okay.
I also watched Samurai 7. That was pretty good. Or 7 Samurai, whatever.
It's Samurai 7. You had it right.
Samurai 7. It was good. I just don't think I would want to watch it again because, I don't know, it was really good. I just don't think I could sit through it again.
I feel that. That one's definitely a one-time kind of watch. It's also like one season kind of. Yeah. Well, it's old anime, which, in my opinion, old anime is just like that one solid arc. And that's pretty much it. The only things that ongoing like that is like One Piece, you know?
I attempted to watch Cassian Sins, or I think that's what it's called, Cassian Sins.
Casherin Sins, I believe is what it is.
Stupidest fucking anime I've almost ever seen. Garbage. Absolute trash.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Absolute trash. By the way, I'm going to go over all of this. I'm just trying to get the list out of the way. But, yeah, that absolute trash. And then I also watched Zom 100, which was absolutely amazing. What else?
Oh, that was really good. Yeah.
What else did I watch? I feel like there was one more thing that I watched.
You attempted to overtake, but I don't think it's in...
I only watched one episode because I personally wanted to watch it in English, and
they're just not dubbing it for whatever reason.
I watch it while I'm a little bit preoccupied, so watching it subbed is complicated. So watching it in English just allows me to be hands-free, for lack of a better way of putting it. And that was only the first episode was dubbed at the time of me trying to watch it, so I didn't do that one. That's all I can remember right now. But I did also, we watched X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that show's 100% made for us.
Yeah. Which isn't over yet. I think there's 1 or 2 more episodes, but I guess we could do an in-progress review.
Yeah.
And then I also watched, you might be a little mad at me, I also watched, what is it called?
I don't know. Careful what you say.
Woof. What is it called? Rebel Moon, Part 2.
Actually, I already knew you watched that.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot, and I'll get into that. That one's going to take a little bit.
It's okay. You get to sit another 2 whatever hours and watch it again with me.
So let's go back.
You want to start with Hinomaru?
let's start with Hinomaru.
Okay.
Anime is great. Like, it's a fighting anime. It's a competition sport anime. It's really straightforward. Something that I say about, like, all sports stories, whether it be, like, anime or movies, TV shows, whatever it is, all kind of sports stories, I used to not like them a lot because the story always boils down to one of the same two things. Either one, it's a story about an underdog-esque character who's climbing their way to the top and they win because they deserve it, or two, it's about the character who's already on top who loses ultimately and ends up learning a lesson. Like, ultimately, like 99% of sports anime or sports things like movies, TV shows boil down to like those two things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I mean, what can you do in a competition, win or lose, right?
Right.
And if you win, it's cool. You won, awesome, you deserve it. But if you lose, it's like, all right, well, what do I learn from it? That's always like the backup, Yeah. What did you learn from your loss? But like, I think me making that statement was kind of being unnecessarily harsh. And Sumo helped me realize that. Hinomaru Sumo helped me realize that in the sense of it's not so much about knowing, oh, they're going to win, oh, they're going to lose. It's more so just about the journey. It's about them getting there. It's about the excitement of everything happening. And that anime was really exciting. And, like, so first of all, even though it's an anime, it doesn't stick hard to a lot of tropes. And that's something that I think in some of our last podcast episodes I may have mentioned once or twice. I'm not big on anime tropes. I don't like when anime uselessly just shoehorns tons of tropes at you every 5 seconds. Hinomaru doesn't do that. Honestly, most of the tropes, so the anime does this like end credit thing, like every episode has like a little end credit scene. And typically the end credit scenes are like, you can kind of akin them to like Marvel, like the Marvel movies, where like they'll give you a tidbit of information that might be important down the line. Like, in Marvel, they might introduce a character. But then also, they might just be foolish nonsense that really doesn't amount to anything. Like when we watched the first Avengers movie, and the end credit scene is them eating shawarma.
Yeah.
Like, that was just a goofy, fun, like, didn't really amount to anything. It was just funny. But then you have, like, like, you have Avengers, Civil War, or not Civil War, not Endgame, Infinity War. You have Infinity War, where its end credit scene is Nick Fury contacting Captain Marvel, which is important. That's introducing a new character. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, and that's how a lot of these end credit scenes are, where, like, sometimes they actually do, introduce something later that they reference in the anime that's like kind of important, and then other times it's like goofy, just like
goofy stuff.
Like one of the things that was actually kind of a mix of both, and I fucking found it hilarious, is so their team ends up getting 2 female managers, and later in the series the 2 managers end up really getting into sumo, and they're like, you know what, maybe if we learned how to sumo ourselves, we'll get better. And this is like the end credit scene.
I remember this.
So the 2 girls decide, and mind you, they're doing this like in their schoolgirl uniforms. So like they decide to sumo, like to wrestle. And as they're wrestling, Hinomaru like is walking up, and like right when one of the girls like slams the other girl, he opens the door and like sees them, and like both of them are like bent over, skirts just in the air.
In the air.
So he accidentally ends up looking up their skirt. And he's like, he's not like the show. What I like about the show is like nobody's like an, over the top pervert. This happens. He's immediately like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Like he, looks away, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. But then later in the anime, what I really liked is later in the anime, they actually point out that he starts acting weird towards them. Towards the 2 girls.
And they kept it relevant.
And then one of the girls was like, oh, maybe he's starting to have like sexual fantasies about it. And it was kind of like a funny joke. But it turns out that he was just so passionate about sumo. When he found out that they were sumo wrestling, he wanted to kind of teach them how to do it. So he was just like really just nervous about asking them. So that's why he got weirded out. But anyway, all of that was to explain, like, that started off as one of those useless end credit scenes that became something slightly relevant later down the line. So I really enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that those end credit scenes is where a lot of the anime's tropes will happen. Like annoying anime tropes will happen a lot of times in those end credit scenes, but it's easy to just wipe those away. They're like 30 seconds long, whatever, it's over. Yeah. But nonetheless, anime's great. I loved it. Watching the team like go from literally beyond the bottom. Like, when I say beyond the bottom, like, they weren't even ranked. They were unranked.
Yeah, they were.
They were literally
bottom
unranked.
Feeders.
Bottom, like, not like...
They weren't even feeding on the bottom.
They're the things that the bottom feeders feed on. Like, they were below the below, you know?
Yeah.
Going not to the complete top, but near the top. Like, near the top. It was so much fun. It was great. It was awesome. And oddly enough, like, it almost made me want to go watch actual sumo fights. Like, I know they wouldn't be as interesting as they are in the anime.
Not really.
But it almost made me want to go watch. Like, oh my gosh.
No one's out there yelling, demon eyes, rising sun.
What is it? It's, there was one it was like a Starbucks drink name. It was like, and I just mean that in terms of how long it was. You know? It was like double reverse, 1,000-hand dark demon triple throw or something like that. I was like, oh my god, what is going on here? But no, the anime is fucking great. I enjoyed it. Animation's good. Like, yeah, it's really good watching all the characters kind of grow together and love each other, and like the anime giving all of these characters reasons, because the team is made up of 5 characters.
Yeah.
Giving all the characters reason for wanting to do what they do. It was great. And like all of it, it wasn't like too hammy, you know?
Yeah.
It was good.
No,
honestly,
it was good. Yeah.
Great watch.
Yeah. I loved every second of it too when I watched it.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And what is it? What is the intro? What is
God,
it?
I can't.
Oh my
I can't
god, what is it?
I can't do it. I can't.
I can't remember.
I can't.
It's got a really the second intro is really catchy.
Yeah.
Like, it's really catchy.
Yeah.
But
I think we're just gonna let them listen to it on their own.
Yeah. You guys go listen to it. It's really catchy.
I feel like we'd have to pay out some creds or something if we played it.
I guess we'll jump to Samurai 7 or 7 Samurai.
Yeah.
I guess we'll jump to that. So
I'm a squirrel living in your world. You go for it.
That the best way I could describe 7 Samurai is very akin to a Studio Ghibli movie. That's like one of the best.
You know, I never thought of it that way, but yeah actually, it really is
akin to a Studio Ghibli movie. Like not exactly, but it's very akin to it.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is it starts off by like the same way every single Studio Ghibli movie ever starts, where it introduces our main character and it introduces the environment that they live in, and then it rips them from that environment because something in their life changes. That's literally every Studio Ghibli movie ever.
Pretty much.
That's how the first 30 minutes of the movie goes.
Less fantastical monsters.
Yeah, like it starts off normal. Or not normal, like normal for its
show, setting,
You meet character A, and character A is with their family, or with their village, or with whatever, and then something happens that tears them out of that situation, and then the rest of the movie is effectively them learning where they are, what they're doing, and how to get back to where they were. That's effectively every Studio Ghibli movie, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. You know, they figured out a method that works, and Samurai 7 kind of does that. Not even kind of, like almost quite literally. We meet a princess and some dude. Village gets attacked. They're like, we're tired of our village getting attacked. Let's go hire some samurai to help us.
Yeah.
They go to the nearby city to go hire some samurai. They end up finding a couple, and they take this, the samurai back to the village. The village fights off the local bandits, and then it kind of turns into a bigger war than that. I won't spoil the secondary part, but yeah, and it just was solid. It was really solid. The story was good. Something that irritated me at first, but then made sense a little bit later, were some of the characters initially felt like they felt like they could jump from one dynamic to another, and it would almost not make sense. So, like, the example I'll use is we meet the engineer samurai,
Mm-hmm.
And when we first meet him, he's like this really mild-mannered, relaxed guy who's like really chill, laid back. He's always like, oh yeah, let's just hang out, let's chill. You know, he's really respectable. And when we met him, he had never killed anyone. You know, he had
the one
never...
with the goggles on his head, right?
Yeah, the one with the goggles.
Yeah.
He had never murdered anyone at this point, right? And because, not like he was a pacifist or anything, but like he just... Killing wasn't his go-to answer, even as a samurai. Killing wasn't his go-to answer. He preferred to kind of outsmart his enemies. And that's kind of how you meet him. And he's, like I said, he's this really laid-back guy.
According to his wiki page, he prefers to eat rice over fighting.
No, literally. He says that in the anime. Like, why can't we all just eat rice? Dude fucking loves rice. Like, dude loves rice.
I remember watching that and like, I had to rewind a few times. I was like, did he just say, like, why can't we just eat rice to solve war?
Yeah, that's literally what he says. And it's fucking hilarious. But, like, that gives you kind of a feeling of that character. But then a little bit later, like, when they get to the village, there's a situation that goes down. And bro is about to murder a villager in cold fucking blood. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to spoil, like, why he's going to murder him. Because there's, like, actually an important reason. But, like... It just felt like a complete 180 of this character. It was like, whoa, where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of the characters kind of do that throughout the anime of, like, they have this motif in them of, like, they're this type of character. So you get used to them being this type of character. And then something will happen and they're just, like, the fucking polar opposite. So at first I was like, this is just kind of bad writing. Like, like, what is this? But... later in the anime, it kind of starts to talk about some more of the characters' backgrounds and where they come from and who they are. And you find out that a lot of it is just like, it's not that they're putting on a front of who they are, but it's that they've changed or they're working on themselves. They are growing people.
Yeah.
So it's not that the rice engineer samurai just wasn't a murderer or wasn't willing to be a murderer. It's, again, there was a situation that happened that he felt very personal about.
Yeah.
And it really hurt him personally.
Yeah.
And that's why he resorted to killing. Or wanting to kill. Yeah. Because it really, truly affected him personally.
And they all went through something like that. But
exactly.
I took it as a show of, like, this is what happens in war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
and
war got declared, and they thought that they could
declared.
War were declared. Trying to be serious.
War were declared. I don't think anybody's gonna catch that reference.
Nope. But if they do, love that. Put it in the comments.
War were declared.
But I honestly think that, like, I mean, war changes people. It changes things and the way things work. And they thought that they could still have their own moral compass and achieve whatever dreams they wanted to achieve, but that wasn't the case for them.
Not only that, something that I really also appreciated about the anime is that the anime reminds you that these are samurai.
Yeah.
Technically Ronin.
Technically,
these are samurai.
But...
They are warriors who are trained to kill, and they understand that. All of them do.
Yeah.
Like I said, the rice guy doesn't go to killing first, but he is by no means a pacifist. By zero means is he a pacifist. As soon as it's time to kill, he's ready to kill. Point blank, period. So that's kind of something I really, really, really did enjoy.
Is he your favorite character?
No, honestly, I would say that my favorite character is a tie between the main samurai. I forget his name, but like the older man with the long brown hair and the white...
Kanbei.
Yeah, Kanbei.
Long hair, right?
Yeah, long hair. Him?
Kanbei. Yeah.
It's a three-way tie, actually. It's a three...
There's only 7, so you're getting real close to just half the team.
Okay, there's 4 of them that I do really enjoy. I liked a lot.
It went from 1 to 3 to 4.
Yeah. So, okay, I guess Kanbei would be my number 1 favorite, because, like, there's nothing actually bad about him that I didn't like. All the other ones, there are things that I didn't like, but Kanbei actually, I just liked him. So I guess he would be my number 1 favorite.
Yeah.
Then, the big robot is number 2. I forget his name.
You hated him at first so much.
Well, because he was kind of irritating at first. Like, he's really bullheaded, but he grows on you. He's adorable. Like, he's fucking adorable. And then his backstory, like, really, like, digs
really
in.
drove it home
It
for
really
you.
drives it
Yeah.
home. Then the next one is Kanbei's partner.
The young kid?
No, not the young kid. The blonde with the pole arm.
With the pole arm. Oh.
And like he's just dope. Like he's just dope. Like he's just straight up dope. Like he's relaxed, he's smooth, he's quick, he's smart. Like he's got everything that you want. Like he's just dope. He's dope. And then fourth would be
of course I can't say his name.
The fourth one is the Black Samurai.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like honestly, the only reason I really liked him is because he was weird. He'd be on the battlefield basically getting turned on. Like that's really all it was. It was just funny. Like he would jump and like fight somebody, and then like as he's fighting them, he would make faces like he basically just came in his pants. Like he was funny, so I liked him. But no, I guess Kanbei would be my number one favorite. He was dope. Like he was smart. He's tactical. He looks cool. He's got a cool ass looking katana. Of the 7 of them, he's probably one of the most skilled. Maybe
if I'm not mistaken, he was the last one to join. No,
no. Technically, he's the first. Technically. It just depends on what we're considering joining.
Yeah, some of them were just tagging along and then actually legitimately joined. They pulled a Nami.
The actual technical first one is the young boy.
Yeah.
Technically. And because he volunteers himself. He's like, I will help you.
Yeah.
He tells like, I'm not good enough, but I will help you.
Yeah.
Then the second one technically is the robot guy. And again, he kind of just volunteers himself. He's like, I just want to go kick some ass. Bandits suck.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm in this. Then it is Kanbei.
Okay.
Yeah. Now at this point they had already asked Kanbei like 2 or 3 times, and he just kept saying no.
Yeah.
But then they just kind of convinced
That's what
him.
it was. He was like hard pressed.
Yeah. He was the first one that they asked, but he said no.
Yeah.
And then once the other 2 volunteered themselves, later some stuff goes down, and then he ends up saying like, "Oh, due to your resolve and persistence, I'll help you." And then he
didn't want to join no punk asses.
Yeah. And then the entertainer, I believe, is 4th. The Black Samurai, I believe he's 4th. Yeah. Then 5th is the engineer. 6th is Kanbei's partner. And then 7th is blonde hair with dual swords.
Yeah.
But the reason I say it kind of depends on what we're counting as joining is technically the young boy, the robot. Technically, the young boy and the robot were samurais 6 and 7, because Kanbei like specifically says you are not one of the 7 samurai. Like you're not one of the ones we're looking for. But then later when they prove themselves, he's like, okay, cool, you're number 5. And then I think it's 5 and 6 actually. Yeah. I think it's 5 and 6. He's like, you're number 5. You're the 5th samurai. And then later he tells the robot, you're number 6. You're the 6th samurai. No. The robot becomes number 7. And then the blonde hair guy, technically he's the last one to officially join. Mm-hmm. But
I always thought he looked like Dash.
He gets declared part of the team way earlier. Because him and Kanbei fight each other, and Kanbei says, like, damn, I want him on my team. He's the one.
Yeah.
But, like, at that point, he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I guess it depends on what we're declaring as. Like, are we saying when Kanbei says it? Or are we saying, like, functionally, we saw them, like, on the team now?
I kind of counted it as, like, when he actually...
When Kanbei, like,
yeah.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
So then, yeah. But yeah, no, animation's good. Fighting is good. Again, no anime tropes. Like,
oh yeah, no.
This one is virtually zero.
Yeah, because it's serious.
Yeah, like it doesn't even over-sexify the women in the anime. Like even
they're 2 little
even
girls.
Hitnomaru Sumo had a couple of scenes where like the girls were in the bathhouse.
Yeah,
and I swear it made their titties significantly bigger because now they're naked.
Yeah.
But like when they got their clothes on, they don't look like they have titties. Like they look like some middle school / early high school students, but in this bathhouse, they look like fucking grown ass women. So, but in this anime, like, the women
to be fair, if a woman puts on a sports bra, it's gonna like.
I mean, yeah, sure, I guess.
So if she gets out the bath and then, hey.
I guess. But this anime, like, the most fan service, I guess, that you get is the fact that the main character, Princess, is wearing a crop top and, like, her stomach is out.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you don't even get, like, full body shots of her all the time.
But
like,
she's like a kid. Like,
no, she was like 16 or something. Well, that is a kid.
That's a kid.
But, like, she's not, like, a 10-year-old.
No.
She's a teenager.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, honestly, the anime was kind of, like, not clear with ages, because, like, even the little girl that follows her, I think the little girl was 10, but the way she looks and acts is like she's 5. But I think the little girl was 10, or close to 10.
Yeah, it's never actually been clear.
Yeah,
so.
I could be wrong. Maybe she's not that old, but I could have swore she was like 10.
I don't think anyone's ever actually stated, like, even I mean, I'd have to do some real serious digging, but, like, her age, even the older girl's age, is not, like, defined. Because, I mean, like, back then,
I don't think they say
none of that
clearly.
shit mattered.
I don't think they say it clearly, but I think it's one of those things where, like, if you pay attention to context clues, you can kind of put a range on it. Between these ages. But yeah, Summer 7 was great. I fucking loved it. Again, it's not something I would rewatch over and over again, but it was great. It was good.
Yeah. Definitely a one-hit wonder, but more on the wonder side.
Yeah.
In a good way.
In the good way.
Yeah.
Next, Zom 100. A good time. Straight up.
Such a good time.
Just a good time. Just straight up good time. It's goofy, it's funny, it's quirky. The only thing about that anime that was bugging me, and I told you this before off air, is I feel like the writer of this anime wanted this anime to be kind of like a self-help story. Like, he wanted people to look at this anime for inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, the reason I say that is because throughout the anime, a constant motif keeps coming up, and the motif, it's the motif of, like, finding who you are. Yeah. You know, being true to yourself, loving yourself, and becoming an adult, you know? Yeah. But, like, not just, oh, I'm an adult, I gotta go to work and go to sleep and life sucks. Like, finding what you are passionate about and figuring out a way to make a living off of it. Figure out a way to give it the love that it deserves, right? And, like, don't get me wrong, that's sweet and that's beautiful, but in a zombie apocalypse setting, there were a lot of moments that just did not make sense in context.
Yeah.
Like, I told you before about, like, there's a moment where the main character and the girl are having a conversation, and the main character says something like, you know, I'm going to paraphrase here, I don't remember exactly what he says, but he says something along the lines of, like, you know, I'm feeling a little bit lost. I don't know what I want to do for a job or for a living. Like, I want to find something that makes money. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then the girl's like, oh, well, new jobs are being discovered every day. You know, just figure out what you love and what you're good at. And, you know, who knows, we'll find a way to monetize it and we can make money off of it, you know. But first you just need to find out what you love. Because, again, new jobs are happening every day. Yeah. And I was like, it's the fucking zombie apocalypse. What fucking jobs are you talking about? It's the end of the world.
Killing zombies.
Like, what? But again, like, that wasn't directed at the characters and at the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it was directed at us. Yeah.
The audience. And like, you know, don't give up who you are. Figure out what you love and what you want to do. And who knows? One day, maybe you'll be able to get paid for it. And you'll be able to just do what you love.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, that's beautiful. Again, it's just, there's so many moments throughout the anime where it brings that up and then the anime just stops making sense. Because it's like, it's the end of the world. What?
I've never looked into it, but
or it's the end of Japan, not necessarily the world.
Right, it was just...
It never clearly states the whole world is destroyed.
But maybe the writer felt that way. Like, maybe he took a long time to come around to anime and he's, like, so passionate about it that he finally actually took the step.
No, I agree with that.
Because, like, maybe that's something that happened to him.
It's beautiful. It's great.
It's
like
just
those moments
it's just
great.
oddly placed.
Make sense.
Yeah.
Like in context, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But when you think of it as not in context, you think about it as it's trying to tell me a message.
Yeah.
You know, it's trying to speak to the audience.
He didn't try to make it make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, fine. But aside from that, the anime is an absolute good time. Now, this anime does have tropes. A lot of them.
Oh, tons. Being naked.
Yeah. Like there's a hot spring episode where they decide to go to a hot spring. I don't think it's a whole episode. I think it's like a half of an episode.
I feel like picnics, beaches, hot springs are all trope.
Yeah, no, it's a fan service.
All of it is a fan service. It happens in every slice of life. Like
it's so and then like, you know, they have the quintessential foreign student or foreign character with the massive massively huge breasts, like unrealistically massively huge breasts.
She American, I think.
No, she's German.
No, she's German.
No.
You're right.
Yeah, she's German? She's either German or Russian. But I'm pretty sure it's German. I'm like 90% sure it's German.
One of those places where massively huge breasts is a thing.
Yeah. But yeah, she grew
sense.
up loving Japan, so she flew out and just so happened
caught up in the zombie
apocalypse. But it's a fun anime. It's good. Just don't go into it expecting anything too serious. Just go into it expecting a good time.
A good time.
That's it. Just a good fucking time.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, some good laughs, some half-decent action, some goofiness, some quirkiness.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So I did enjoy that one a lot. And I guess now we're on fucking Cassian Sins, or...
It's gonna be real short.
Yeah. Listen, I might have a lot to say about how ass it was.
Oh, God.
So, okay, so I didn't even finish it. I got to, like, episode, 10, I think. And the reason I didn't finish it, and, you know, who knows, maybe I'll get butchered because you just gotta finish it. You just gotta finish it.
I mean, you got to, 5 minutes into episode 7, and that was it.
Okay, so I didn't even make it to 10.
Nope.
But every episode was the exact same thing. And I started getting bored as fuck. Every episode up until that point, at least. Maybe it changes, but up until that point, starts off, Cassian's alone. He's wallowing in his sadness because he destroyed the world in some way. He ends up meeting person or persons. Sometimes they're human, sometimes they're robot. 99% of the time they're robots. That robot then likes him initially because he's strong and cool and not rusted. Then they find out who he is, and then they try to kill him. Mm-hmm. And then he fights back because he doesn't want to die. Mm-hmm. But then he decides, well, I need to die because I destroyed the world and I deserve to pay for it. So then he decides to let them kill him. And then something happens so that he doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
Every fucking episode. So every fucking episode up until at least episode 7.
Yeah.
Is that exact same thing. The exact same thing. And it just got so boring. Every episode. Fucking boring.
So I watched this much a longer time ago. That's not a word. Longer. Nope. That's still not the word. I felt like I wasn't trying to say long ago, but yeah, I guess long ago. Before I even, early stages of us dating. So year 1 of 8, maybe. And I didn't even make it as far as you did. I got to episode maybe 3 or 4. And it felt like, this is not an anime, but this one movie, was it called Scarlet Ace or something like that? It was, God, I'm not remembering the name of it now. I'm drawing a blank. But it basically, the movie was about a woman who had sex out of wedlock. She was just single and she had sex with a married man, but who was leaving his wife. Mm-hmm. And this is witch trial days. So they put a S on her.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember the actual name of it, but they put an S on her to signify that she's bad, right? And so when I was watching Cassian Sins, that movie came to me and it made me think like, cause like she wallowed in self-pity and it's like, nah, bro, like he wasn't with his wife anymore. Like they weren't married. They had fun. Like, and it was what it was. It was very, Catholic driven for sure. But it made me think of Cashian Sins. Like, watching Cashian Sins made me think of that. Because it was like, someone thought that was a good idea for an anime, but then, like, had nowhere else to go with it.
Yeah.
Because
like,
that was that movie, but, like, that was all that movie was, and it was just a movie, and back then it was, like, an hour and a half.
Yeah. Like... And
Cashian, they tried to stretch it over, like... I don't even know how many episodes because I didn't make it past 4, so I have no idea exactly. But I know it was like an old anime, so it's probably at least got 25.
Yeah, like,
maybe. But like, it just like, that's what it was every single episode. It's like, okay, I'm watching that movie over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's boring.
It's like the creator didn't know how to make it propel forward.
I didn't finish it, so who knows? Maybe, episode 11, the anime kicks off and all this other stuff. But as I've said before, if it takes half your season to get good, you're not good. That is the way I look at it. If you're 20 episodes long and you're not good till episode 11, then you're not good. What's the point of the first 10 episodes then?
Yeah.
You should be good beginning to end.
Beginning to end. Yeah.
Maybe I'll give you a 1 to 2 episode buffer because you gotta, start up and get things going, 1 to 2 episode buffer, but it shouldn't take half your series to get good.
Yeah. The only thing that was an exception like that for me was One Piece. But I also started watching One Piece.
Like, One Piece starts off solid and then gets better. It doesn't start off ass. It starts off solid. And you're like, okay, this is decent. This is good. This is all right.
Yeah.
And then it only gets better. At least, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like this anime, and like, don't get me wrong, it does start off decent. Like, I'll give it that. It starts off good. You meet the character, he's fighting some bad guys. You're like, oh, cool. There's cool action. He looks kind of like a common writer character.
Yeah.
All right.
He does.
Cool. All right. He's badass. And then, like, you go 2 more episodes and we find out, he destroyed the world or some shit. And, like, I watched it in English, so maybe the sub is better with the way it gives you information. But in English, the information sucks. Like, it doesn't really exactly explain what's going on or what's happening. You're just like, the world is ended and robots are now resting and dying, and they think if they eat Cassian, they won't die? And he did something that is making them all die now? And they all are conscious, I guess, because they can die and they're aware that they can die and they don't want to die.
It left way too much to the imagination.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it eventually gets to a point where it explains that they're not, like, I don't want to say not dying, but, like, they're just rusting. That's what it is. They're literally just, and, like, you kind of figure that out early because, like, when you see it happen, it's literally rust.
Rust, yeah.
And then, like, little by little, you start getting these flashback sequences of when he killed, what do they call it? The moon named Luna. Which looked to be a little girl or possibly a little robot girl or something like that. But, like, it had somewhere to go. In my opinion, it just took too long to get there. And that was the thing that made this anime suck. I don't want to watch 10 episodes or 7 episodes of the exact same thing, just with different skin.
Yep.
Like, it got fucking boring. Like,
yep.
Every episode was the same thing, aside from, like, 1, maybe 2 episodes.
I mean, that's how I felt about your love for the Fate Stay series.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
the same skin over and over again.
Yeah, but even the Fates,
woe is me. This is my destiny. I don't want it.
But even
episode
Fates,
25.
like,
all right, I'll fight. Okay.
Like, even between the different Fates, they all have different stories, and then from episode to episode, the story does progress. Yeah, the character's
eventually.
irritating because and that's literally just Fate Stay Night.
Yeah,
the character's irritating because he doesn't want to do shit, but the show does progress.
Yeah,
every episode is not a rinse and repeat of the literal exact same thing.
No,
it does progress.
Yeah. It's genuinely just their MC.
But this anime, I watched the first 5 episodes and felt like I literally got nowhere.
Yeah,
and then on top
you were
of
stagnant.
On top of that, if you're kind of paying attention to, like, I guess, the terrain, he's kind of walking in a big ass circle. Because he goes to point A, meets this character, then goes to point B, meets this character, then goes to point C, meets this character, then goes effectively back to point A to meet point A's character, then goes back to point C. And, like, I'm really paraphrasing it here, but, like, it does backtrack a lot of the time, where he keeps going back and forth between a handful of locations. So, like, not only are you doing the same thing, you're going the same places.
Yeah.
Now, like, don't get me wrong, it's not literally the exact same places over and over again. It does start to add new places as the anime just continues and continues. But again, by that point, I'm already fucking burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm already over it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm tired of you making the same mistakes over and over again.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
And that's fine. There is shitty anime out there.
Yeah, there is.
Whether it's the new age or the old age,
yeah.
It exists.
I guess should we segue to X-Men, or should I do Rebel Moon?
No, you need to do X-Men. We're not talking about Rebel Moon.
I do want to talk about Rebel Moon.
We're gonna talk about Rebel Moon after I've watched Rebel Moon.
I won't give too many spoilers, but
even talking about it is a spoiler to me.
I want to talk about Rebel Moon.
I don't like it.
But do we want to go X-Men first?
Yeah.
All right.
To prolong Rebel Moon that I don't want to happen.
We can go X-Men first.
Mm.
So, I mean, you want to kick it off?
I mean, so I genuinely don't remember all of this show, but X-Men 97 is, like, the new X-Men 97 is definitely made for us. It's continuation. It's not really new. It's just continued because they just continued the story from where it's at. But, like, watching it as an adult is just, like, it's really, like, it gives me the fuzzies in my mind, but, like, in the best way.
I mean,
it's so good.
It's good. It's good. I mean, like, the story is solid. You know, it's X-Men story, so, you know, It is what it is. The action is good. It keeps, for the most part, an odd, like, PG-13-esque rating, sort of.
Until recently.
But, like, I also kind of liked that because, like, it made that moment hit a lot harder. I
mean, I think it made, because it stayed that way, it made a lot of other moments
hit really hard.
Like a lot.
Yeah, it's a fun watch.
Yeah.
It's great.
I know that, like, I kind of remember the feelings of it when I was watching it when I was younger, but, like, you know, as a kid, you look at X-Men and just, like, Magneto's bad, period. Everybody on his side bad. They just split. But, like, watching it now, you're looking at it and you're like, I mean, maybe it's because we're older, you know, and like I said, this is definitely a show for us. Looking at it now is just like, damn, is Magneto really bad? I don't think so. I think he's got a different vision, and, like, he tried. He legit tried Xavier's way.
I hate to make this reference, but for those of you that don't know or don't realize, it's largely reminiscent of the civil rights movement. You know,
oh yeah, Professor X, absolutely.
Professor X is largely a Martin Luther King archetype character.
He is, yeah.
And Magneto is largely a Malcolm X archetype character.
Yeah.
You know?
Radical.
Yeah. One person is very, very we'll do what's necessary, but before we get to what's necessary, we will try to talk and come to agreement.
Yeah.
And even in the face of adversity, we will still talk and try to be peaceful. Whereas the other is a slightly more of a radicalist. Like, we'll try talking, but we've already seen too many times that talking has failed.
Yeah.
The only thing that force can be met with is more force.
Yeah.
And, and that's always what X-Men's been, like, largely, And, this show, it doesn't deter from that at all. And that's one thing I actually enjoyed, that it doesn't, I was kind of expecting that, kind of in today's era, they would kind of tiptoe around
sugarcoat around it. Yeah.
But they don't. Like, there's even the episode where, like, Madeline Pryor's given birth, and the doctor is like, I'm not giving birth to your kind.
Yeah. I'm not delivering your baby.
I'm not delivering your baby. I don't work. Like, I don't deliver your kind's babies.
I literally saw that and was like, the fuck?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's real.
Straight up racism.
That's straight up racism, And it was, I'm glad that they didn't tiptoe around that, you know? Like, even, when Magneto gets put on trial, like, in actual civil rights movements, there were a lot of situations where black people were put on trial and a lot of white people didn't feel that the trial was necessary.
Yeah. It was like, what's the point?
What's the point?
Just kill him.
Just kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what Magneto went through. It was like, well, what's the point? He's a mutant. He's a bad guy. He's done bad things. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And
I think Magneto felt that, like, 10 times over, because he wasn't just a mutant.
A Holocaust
survivor. Also,
survivor.
a Holocaust survivor. And it's like, oh, shit. Like, he really thought he wasn't going to get a fair trial, no matter what. So
I love that they don't really tiptoe around that at all. That's a lot of fun to me. I think I've enjoyed almost all of the characters' powers and how they show them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how they personify them, you know? Like, for example, even, like, with Nightcrawler, there's that sequence where Wolverine, like, Nightcrawler teleports to an enemy, stabs the enemy, then Wolverine runs up and, like, gets the kill on the enemy, or what we assume was the kill on the enemy. And then as he's doing that, Nightcrawler teleports, and they get, like, pulled through dimensions.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And Wolverine looked like he was going to fucking shit his pants and puke all at the same time.
Right. And I love that, because, like, a lot of people don't know that Nightcrawler's teleport is not technically a teleport per se.
Yeah.
He does literally move between two dimensions.
Yeah.
He jumps between here, the astral plane, and back to here.
And back. Yeah.
Largely, like, technically.
Yeah.
So, like, the way they personified that, I loved it. Or, like, I don't know if you realize this, but, like, Jean Grey and Magneto, their power, the color of their power changes based on what they're doing. Whether it's yellow or blue.
Yeah.
Based on exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it, it'll slightly change. It changes color.
Yeah.
Little moments like that, I love that. Like, it's so cool. Or, like, even Cyclops, the different beams that he shoots comes out and has a different style.
Yeah.
Sometimes the beam is, like, thin but jagged. Sometimes thin but, like, smooth. Sometimes big and smooth. Like, just those little details.
He can adjust his power outlet.
Right. And, like, those little details of, like, how these characters are using their powers and what it looks like when they use their powers. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it.
I definitely grew a newfound love for Gambit.
Yeah.
Because I totally just was like, whatever, but watching him on the show was just like, he's kind of dope.
I mean, I've always loved Gambit. Like, I've always loved Gambit because he is really powerful.
With his Louisiana ass. It's so southern.
But yeah, like...
And talks in the third person.
Gambit knows.
Like, no, shut up.
But, I've always loved Gambit. He was fun. I do wish we got more of him, but it is what it is. Sorry, I went blank. Yeah.
Sometimes I wish we had videos so, like, people could see the level of blank you go.
I'm really sleepy and tired right now, so I'm struggling to keep pace. But, yeah, like, I don't know. X-Men was just a lot of fun. It was really good. I love the powers.
I love that they actually showed, like, finally Magneto's level of power. Like, I think they kind of did it a little bit in, like, the new-ish one. I don't even know what like newish one is. Yeah. So, like, ever so slightly. They definitely, like, touched on it.
In the movies,
but
we've gotten a touch of how powerful he can be.
But it's like, not nearly enough.
Like, even in the first 3 movies, like, when he moves a chunk of the Golden Gate Bridge, like,
yeah,
it does touch on how powerful he is. But, like, bro is an Omega level mutant.
Yeah, moving the Golden Gate Bridge is as simple as sneezing for him.
Yeah,
it's not.
Now
they made it seem like it was just a struggle, and it's like, no, this dude can move Earth's core if he wanted to.
Yeah, so like and I mean, yeah,
I think it's because the perception of him was just like metal.
Well,
and
yeah,
that's something. Yeah, that's not him at all.
He's electromagnetism.
Yeah, which is totally different.
Yeah. Like I've had people ask me like, well, how can Magneto fly? And well, it's because every living thing, almost everything, has an electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
So he's just manipulating his own electromagnetic field.
That's it.
But that's also why he doesn't fly like Superman per se. Like he can't like catapult
he doesn't like
through
catapult.
the air.
Yeah.
He can kind of just like levitate forwards.
Yeah.
Because he's literally just moving his electromagnetic field. So yeah.
I honestly think that's better for him. He's definitely got like the boss bitch.
Yeah.
vibe.
So
can't do that while being Superman.
But yeah, like he's powerful. The show does a great job of showing that. It does a great job of, like I said, everybody's powers. It does a really good job of showing how strong a lot of these characters really are.
Yeah.
Like fucking Cyclops just jumping out of a fucking plane and shooting the ground to stop his fall to land.
Superhero pose.
Like to super, like, because he could do that.
Because he could
do that.
Yeah.
Like, dude is dope, you know? Beast being able to fucking make intellectual jokes while lifting tanks above his head and throwing it. Like, dude is that strong and he's that smart.
Yeah.
Like, you know? So, like,
doing galactic level math while throwing a truck at somebody.
What did he say to one of he was like, what did he say? He was like, allow me to give you a hand. And then he ripped off one of the Sentinel's hands and then threw it at another one. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my God.
Beast, you so corny.
You are so corny. But I love it. But I love it. His jokes are great.
He's got daddy scientist jokes.
The only one we don't get to see truly how strong she could get, and it makes sense because this is still early.
Yeah.
And even when we see her later, we don't get a lot of her. Is Jubilee.
Yeah.
Jubilee gets ridiculously overpowered at one point. Not like Omega level, but she definitely gets powered up a lot.
Yeah.
But like the show doesn't touch on that too deeply. Yeah. But it's early Jubilee.
Yeah.
You know, so it's fine. Like, you know.
She still got developing to do.
Exactly. So
as a teenage girl and as a mutant.
Yeah, but no, the show's great. Like I said, I think there's 1 or 2 more episodes left. But no, it's fucking great.
I mean, if they do it right, they can keep going for seasons, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind until Jubilee became a full-fledged adult.
Yeah. I'm not against that. Or just seeing more.
Yeah. Alright, let's have this fucking Rebel Moon.
So, all right, I'm gonna partially talk about 1 and 2 because this is a part 2.
Yes, 1 is fine.
So
it's 2 I have the problem with.
Overall, I like it. The thing about Rebel Moon, and I kind of talked about this to my coworker a little bit, and sometimes I don't know why I talk to that guy. But I'm not going to go into that. This
because
is not
you
the podcast
love painstakingly arguments.
But thing about Rebel Moon that a lot of people, I guess, aren't seeing is that the point of Rebel Moon is to be a franchise opener. It's to start a new legacy.
Something new, yeah.
It's to start a new world of potential movies and things that can be made. Right?
Yeah.
And so the reason I say all that is because, like, part of the conversation I had with my coworker is we were talking about, like, he compared that to Star Wars. Obviously, that is the comparison here. And he was like...
I mean, but that's honestly what they gave us, too. Like, he said this was supposed to be a Star Wars.
I mean, that was his take on it. But, like, Rebel Moon, is it an A+ movie? No. But is it an F movie? Also, no.
No.
It's honestly probably a C+, maybe a B- movie. It's good, it's fun, it's got decent acting, it's got decent characters, it's got great world building, it's got a solid enough story to explain why these characters are here and what they're doing. Honestly, the story is fucking Seven Samurai.
I didn't even think about it.
Literally fucking Seven Samurai.
Totally is.
Yeah, fucking Seven Samurai in space. And don't even...
I know Jack Snyder did some shit.
Yeah, like... But anyway, like... With all of that, the movie is solid, right? It's not exceptional, but it's not bad. It's solid.
Yeah.
If you were to look at, let's say, Star Wars 4, 5, 6, and the reason I say 4, 5, and 6 is because they were the first ones to come out, right? Technically, at the time, 1, 2, 3 didn't exist yet. Yeah. Obviously, 7, 8, 9 didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
We had 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 open up very similar to the way these movies do. And I don't mean like the story's the same. That's not what I mean. Yeah. What I mean is the way that we're given it, the way that we're fed this world is very similar. You start Star Wars Episode 4, you are thrusted into the middle of a fucking situation.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, we meet Luke, right? And it's a very, it's on his little home world or whatever. And, it's very calm, very chill. And then he meets old Ben, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, Daddy-Wan Kenobi. Well, that one wasn't Daddy.
That one wasn't Daddy-Wan Kenobi.
But, we meet, we meet Ben, and then we get thrusted into the situation of having to save the galaxy because there's an intergalactic war happening,
War were declared.
And Rebel Moon largely does a very similar thing. We meet a character who lives on some off-world. Everything's chill, everything's subtle. And then it gives us a reason to get into this war. And then both of them, when we get into the war, we find out that it's not just a war of like, these guys versus these guys. It's an intergalactic war. It is a war that is affecting all of the colonized planets to some degree, right?
Yeah.
And then beyond that, over the course of billions of more movies and TV shows and cartoons, we slowly get to learn more of this world.
Yeah.
And when I say world, I mean like the universe.
Yeah.
We get to learn more characters.
That's definitely what he's aiming for.
Right. And that's what this movie is starting.
Yeah.
I
think Jack Snyder wants a franchise.
Right.
Really bad.
Maybe he'll get it. Maybe he won't. Whatever. But that's the point of this.
I think Netflix will give it to him.
This is not meant to be, the most mind-blowing thing you've ever seen. It was meant to be great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It was meant to be great.
Yeah.
But it was meant to open the door to a franchise.
Yeah.
And I think it does that exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Right? Because it introduces a handful of characters that all have unique backgrounds. And when we get told about these backgrounds, because we start to learn about where these characters are from in the second movie.
Yeah.
When you get told about these backgrounds, it then opens up multiple different planets with multiple different storylines. Like we find out that the buff slave dude that they found is a prince. Mm-hmm. Technically, he's a king.
He's a king.
Because his father and mother died in a war on their planet.
Yep.
That's literally a whole movie by itself.
Yep.
And I'm not saying like that we found this out in this movie and that's bad. No. The fact that we were introduced to that in this movie now means we can get a spin-off movie for him.
Yep.
Or just a spin-off movie of his planet. The war on his planet.
He created avenues.
Yeah.
It could be multimedia if he really wants to.
The Asian lady that is like the badass swordsman chick, we find out that she's from a warrior race. Now, at the time of her becoming who she is, their group had given up war and was like, solitude and
we're not doing this.
But like
they became monks.
Yeah, they became like monks or whatever. But like her ancestral roots are a warrior clan. Bam, that's a whole set of movies right there.
Yeah.
And it don't even got to be about the current war. This could be, 200 years ago of her clan.
Yeah.
And where their roots come from and them being a warrior race, blah, 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 blah. General Titus has this whole backstory of, like, him being, like, an army member and, like, fucking...
Seeing him in his prime is a whole movie all on its own.
That was the point of this movie, to do exactly that.
Yeah.
To open the door to all these different avenues, all these different worlds.
Yeah.
And, like, it's not even just these, like, 5 or 6 characters that we can play with. Again, there's so much more. One second.
Got a timer going off. Of what? For what reason? That was weird. You set a timer?
I guess.
For like midnight?
I don't know. Yeah, we just had like a random alarm in our house go off. That was weird.
It was super weird.
Where was I? But yeah, like the point of this movie was to open the door. And it does that phenomenally well.
Yeah.
The door is now open. We can get a handful more movies of this particular group of people and they're fighting the war.
Yeah.
We can definitely get a little bit more of that. We can get a handful of movies with the individual characters and their backgrounds, where they're from, what they're doing. And then some of them, like I said, some of them open up entirely different chunks.
Yeah.
We could get an entirely separate thing that has nothing to do with this current situation,
Yeah.
And I thought it was good. The action is solid. It's not the best action ever, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
It is solid action. It's a very simple, straightforward story. That's something I appreciated. There's a bad guy. There's a good guy. Good guy's got to beat the bad guy. Done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I said, the story is very Seven Samurai.
Yeah.
Village is struggling. They need warriors to come help them. They send somebody out from their village to go get warriors. They come back and they fight off the bad guys, looming over them. Even down to the fact that both villages were rice villages.
Hey, rice is important in...
It is.
Yes.
But yeah.
In Japanese culture, it's a god.
I mean, yeah, they point that out very clearly in Samurai. Or Samurai 7, whatever it's called.
Samurai 7.
But yeah, I thought it was really good. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait for more. I really can't wait for more.
I hope he gets his multimedia.
I really do. I mean,
I think the man's got a brilliant mind, and he just needs people to let him do it.
I'm sad that we haven't got more Army of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I don't know what the fuck was up with these fucking robot zombies.
Yeah, what the fuck?
For those of y'all that didn't catch that, go back and watch Army of the Dead and go back to the last scene where they're fighting in the casino. They're Batista's character and the other characters are trying to escape. Go back to that last scene, right?
Yeah.
Just go back and watch.
Yeah.
There are some robot zombies.
Yeah.
There are literally some robot zombies. I don't know what the fuck was up with that. We got the movie Army of Thieves.
Yeah, which was just
and
them
it
stealing
expanded the world a little bit, but
yeah,
that's not the movie I wanted.
We got the backstory of the safecracker.
Of the safecracker.
Pretty much.
Gunther?
I think so.
The wrong character? I don't know. He's a safecracker character.
Yeah.
We got his backstory. We did get. Yeah.
It was a prequel.
It was a prequel. It explains how he got to where we met him.
Yeah, because apparently he already knew how to crack that safe.
Yeah.
He
was already planning on cracking that safe.
He just hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted more of that. But, I'll wait on that because Rebel Moon is really good so far. At least in my opinion.
Patience is a virtue with that for sure.
The critics are beating this movie up. I
don't know, man. I think this director's blacklisted.
I enjoyed it.
Or trying to come from being blacklisted.
Yeah.
It's like when Keanu Reeves couldn't get any work. It's granted, Keanu Reeves is pretty one-dimensional, but it's okay.
Yeah,
we love Keanu.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that's all I got. I guess you can...
I'm going to narrow mine down. How about we do that?
Sure.
I'm going to, do the things that avidly watching that I think are great, because there's a lot on my list, but I don't think all of it needs a spotlight. So, like, I'm gonna start with the obvious. I kind of been keeping up with My Hero. I also am watching, anybody like those rom-coms, A Condition Called Love. You and I have been watching Remonster.
That's really good.
I'm only gonna touch on it a little. It's called Tadaima Okairi. Yes, it's a boy love. We'll go very slowly with that one. But it's not really like super boy love. Not super intense. And then I think I will probably just stop there, because I'm moving real slow on Kaiju number 8, and I think it's because like the world wants to hail it as like the best anime ever again, and like Jujutsu Kaisen is like the best anime ever, and I'm just like, no, there's a lot of things that can take that mantle. I also don't think that there is a best anime ever, but it's decent. And then slightly non-anime that I've watched is, I'm just like obsessive with Supernatural. That's gonna be a while. Dang, what else well, we went over some of the stuff that we watched together, and that was pretty much it. My list is like all anime and one non-anime. But anyways, let's break this down ever so slightly. I'm gonna start with the rom-com. I'm not really gonna go in order. A Condition Called Love. It's super, super cute, but like, I kinda, sorta identify with our main character girl, because she, like, it's not that she doesn't have empathy at all, but she doesn't understand certain emotions and certain things, because she's very like direct. If you tell her how you feel, she'll be like, okay, I can't relate, but I'm willing to try. And it's super cute, because this guy just like falls head over heels for her, and she's like, I can't date you, it's not right, because I don't know what love feels like. I don't know what that would even entail. And currently, I mean, I'm only like, it's new, so there's only 6 episodes right now, but like, currently, without giving too much away, she's kind of discovered the beginning stages of what love is like. I definitely feel like it's honeymoon phase, you know. With it being only 6 episodes in, we got 6 more, probably maybe 7 more to go, because that's kind of how anime is these days. And I think they're gonna go through some serious trials and tribulations, something like heavy. But it'll go back to cute. But they like it's really cute, because she's just like, I want to try to love you, and I don't understand unless you tell me or explain to me, and then I try to understand it with my own experiences. Like, she even went through like a whole like, you're my boyfriend trial for like 3 months with the main character guy, who I think is really like sad and depressed a lot, and like, she is his light, and it like shows. Like he's said on multiple occasions that she has saved him, and I think that's really intense for someone who doesn't understand love as a whole. But yeah, that's really cute, and that's what I'm watching. You and I can kind of go back and forth on these next 2. But My Hero Academia, which you have fallen off of. I don't even think you watched the last 2 seasons, honestly, right? Like,
I haven't watched My Hero Academia since Stain was introduced.
Oh, that's a lot longer than that. Like, you've missed a lot, and like, I resonated with you on like, I want to say maybe the last few seasons. I think that My Hero maybe the creator, I don't know. I know that it's gonna like blow up. I know it's gonna be there because like the manga's like that, and it just is taking its time because it's trying to be one of the top 3, and you know they took their time, you know. But like, I don't know. He just like, there was the 2 after you fell off from Stain. I agree with you. It just like, what is the point of this? Why there's no direction? I'm tired of him being like terrible as a hero. Like Midori didn't need to be how he was.
Let me break down why I fell off of My Hero. So it's a few reasons. So Stain in particular let me down real hard, honestly. And this isn't all of this is an opinion.
Yeah,
right?
He broke your heart.
Yeah, all of this is an opinion, but Stain is more of an opinion, I guess. In the sense that initially when we met Stain, you know, he was introduced as like the great hero killer and blah 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 and all this stuff, and he was talked up and he was meant to be this top dog, you know.
Yeah.
Right, and
a legit vigilante actually.
Right, and with that being said, you got to have the chops to match that, right?
Yeah.
So when we got introduced to his quirk, it immediately stopped making sense to me as to how he was as good as he is. His quirk, to my understanding, unless maybe in the last few seasons they've introduced something that I'm unaware of.
No.
Or maybe, again, we watch it in English, or we don't watch it in English, we watch it in
watch it in, yeah.
But we watch the anime, maybe in the manga there's something different, whatever.
For sure.
But what we were explained at that time was that when he ingests your blood, it paralyzes you. And based on the amount of blood that he ingests is how long and how severely you are paralyzed.
Yeah.
So when you think about that on paper, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If I can paralyze Superman, I could do whatever the hell I want to him.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you know, granted, if I have something strong enough to do what I need to do. But nonetheless, if he's paralyzed, I can win.
Yeah.
The thing, though, is, when am I going to have the chance to cut Superman and ingest some of his blood before he flies up and just breaks my neck instantaneously?
Yep, instantaneously. Yep.
Why could nobody else do that to Stain? That didn't make sense. Right before Midori and the other ones fought him, he defeated
pro heroes.
Fucking heroes.
Yeah.
He defeated Homeboy, who's got the jets in his arms, I think, who's the big brother
yeah.
of the one with the jets in his legs. Who's said to be even fucking faster than his little brother.
Mm-hmm.
So when did Stain have a chance to cut him?
Yeah.
Because his little brother is already moving at Mach speeds.
Yeah.
And the bigger brother can move even faster.
Yeah.
So when the fuck did Stain have a chance? Like, you know what I'm saying? And
it didn't make sense.
That's why that's an off-fight screen. Or an off-fight screen. An off-screen fight.
An off-screen fight.
Because it can't make sense. It won't make sense.
Yeah.
There is no way Stain would do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just don't make sense.
Just like, not even like affecting their, like, not even thinking about their power levels. We're supposed to think that pro heroes are the end all be all. Like they're top tier.
They're top tier.
They're top tier.
But dude was just taking them out.
But he got defeated by, what was it, 4 high school students in their first year?
But like even them,
like what?
Even them, like when he was fighting them, there were things that he was doing that it was just like, how?
Why?
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, and again, like, there's maybe some things unexplained, but like, I remember seeing, what is the hot fire ice guy? Shotaro?
Oh, is that right?
I don't know. Fire ice guy. There's a moment where the fire ice guy runs up to attack him, and he makes this massive fucking ice, like, just ice wave. Massive, like, it looked, at least animation-wise, looked near instant. And Stain was just casually able to just super agility front flip out of the way.
Yeah, out of the way.
For real, though? Like, it didn't make sense. Like, to me, Stane's power and scaling did not make sense for him. Sure, maybe you could still call him the hero killer. Maybe you could...
Shoto.
Maybe you could still call him the hero killer. Whatever. Just change the heroes he's killed. Or change the heroes he's fought.
Yeah.
Make him fight heroes where that would make sense.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Make him fight heroes where that would make sense.
Yeah.
You know? And then the next thing is, I don't like when things break their own rules. So, everything ever, every show, every movie, every book, whatever, when it's about, a story, whether it be real life or fantasy or fictional, it establishes a set of rules that governs the world that they live in, right? Yeah. That's just, and it may not factually say these rules, like it may not literally say wood is made of wood, it may not literally say that.
Yeah.
But they'll say, along the lines, they'll point out the fact that maybe they live on Earth, our Earth, right? Like, this takes place on Earth, right? Whatever the case may be, there'll be something that will establish a set of rules for us to understand how this world works.
How it works, yeah.
Right? And then, if you decide to break those rules, if you don't have a good reason for breaking those rules, to me, that's not good writing. You just want it to, like, it's the reason I say it's not good writing is because it's like, maybe you forgot what you did, or you realize what you did doesn't work, so you decided to just not do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reason, the thing that I'll point out about this is, one, and I've had a few arguments made to the counter, but these arguments aren't solid. So one, they said that, what is it, like 95% of the world or 85% of the world has
I think it's
a
85.
quirk?
Yeah.
85% of the world has a quirk. I understand that there is a lot of useless quirks, but if that was the case, we would see far more superpowered people.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not saying that everybody would be Supermans running around, but we would see realistically far more random quirks, things, just 85% of the world. That is 8.5 out of every 10 people.
Yeah.
Out of 11 million people, which I think...
We do see some weird stuff, though.
I think is the current population of Los Angeles. I think it's 11 million. 8.5 million of them would have a quirk. So then why do we see so many normal-ass looking people? Now, realistically, I know that the reason is they don't want to bother animating hundreds of thousands of millions of abilities every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Realistically, that's the answer. But then my point is, don't tell me that then. Just say people are born with quirks. That's all you gotta do. That's it. That's all you gotta say. Then the next thing, they said that having a body augmenting quirk is incredibly rare. A quirk that physically augments your body to where you don't look human is incredibly rare. We see one of those like every third character.
Like half of...
Like literally every third character has a physical augmentation.
Yeah. I think it's all of Class 1A, actually.
Like...
Well, not,
Is 1A the main class?
Yeah.
Like Midori's class?
Yeah.
A good half of his class, yeah.
Yeah.
You got... I don't remember characters' names, so I'm sorry for those of you who care about character names. I don't remember names. I just remember abilities, okay? You got Hair Boy, who could throw the little purple balls. Bro's hair is made of purple balls. You got Elbow Tape Boy, whose arms are elongated and shoots tape out of his arms. You got Karate Iguana Boy, who's got the iguana tail and knows, like, martial arts.
Yeah.
You got Darkness. What is his name?
Dark Shadow.
Dark Shadow. You got Dark Shadow.
Yeah.
You got Invisible Girl, because she may still have a human shape under that invisibility, but she's fucking invisible. It augmented
her body.
It augmented her body. She's fucking invisible. You got Earjack Girl.
Yep. Body augmentation.
That's a body augmentation. You got
Koji,
the boy who could talk to animals. Yeah, you got the boy who could talk to animals. You got there's a couple more.
Did you name Ida already?
You got
with the engines in his legs.
You got super speed. That is a physical body
jet
augmentation.
Engines are in his legs.
Literal jet engines are in his leg. There's a couple more.
Did you say Mezzo or Shoji?
Which one is that?
He's got he looks weird. I don't really know everything that he's got. He's got multiple ears that can come out of him, and he's got a wing and.
Oh yeah. He always wears the blue thing
mask.
On his face.
Yeah,
and he's got hand wing arm things.
Yeah,
bro.
Body
half
augmentation.
Your fucking class is body augmented. So why are you telling me that that's rare?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I don't care. Just don't put the rule down then. Don't tell me that's the way your world works and then it doesn't fucking work that way.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because most of class 1A is that though.
And then like I said, every third to fourth character we meet is a body augmented character. Something about them isn't normal. But then you tell me that that's rare?
Even class 1B is like that. They got a dude who's got a fucking beetle pincer
Stone Boy
face.
Stone Boy, Steel Boy, who can make his body harden.
But
that's conditional, kind of doesn't count.
Because he makes the body augmentation.
That happen.
Yeah.
But it is still a body augmenting quirk. So it's kind of on the edge. But yeah, dude, that to me was just fucking, I was again, my thing is I will suspend my disbelief as far as I have to.
Yeah.
Based on what you tell me.
Yeah.
You tell me that there's a guy who's from another planet who's super strong and practices photosynthesis to get his powers, and he can shoot laser beams and he can fly around the world in 2 seconds. Fucking, I believe you.
Got it.
Done. I believe you. But then as soon as you tell me that flight is impossible and that nobody can do it, period, but then there's a guy that can fly? No. And now I just made that up on the fly. That's not a perfect example, but you get the point I'm making. Don't give me a hard set rule as to this is how your world works and then don't follow it.
Yeah.
Just don't give me the rule. That's the answer. Just don't give me the rule.
Yeah.
Next, my other issue is that now, currently, this is null and void. But up until this point, it never felt like the situation was escalating.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to use Dragon Ball Z as an example here because it's a great example. When you watch Dragon Ball Z, the first arc, the Saiyan arc, the only thing that was really at stake was the lives of the main characters that we knew. That was the only thing that was truly, really, honestly at stake.
Yeah.
Technically, you could argue the planet because if they won, the Saiyans would have, take over the planet like they normally do. But, that not quite, actually, because they weren't working for Frieza anymore. They were just being assholes.
They were just,
So ultimately, the fate that was at risk were the immediate lives of the main characters in which we had grown to love, right? Then it escalates a little bit from there, right? We go from Saiyan arc to Frieza arc. Escalates a little bit. The lives of the Namekians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And initially, it was the immediate vicinity of the Namekians, then it gravitated to the Namekian planet, right? Because Frieza shot the cord and blew up the planet, right? Yeah. Then, which, don't get me wrong, scale isn't always physical, right? It's not always a literal thing, it's not always literally getting bigger. Because the next scale doesn't literally get bigger, technically literally gets smaller. But the next saga is Android Saga, which now the fate of the world is at stake. So then the argument is, well, Planet Namek 1 is bigger than Earth in Dragon Ball. So technically, wasn't that a bigger scale getting smaller? No. We didn't care that much about Planet Namek. We care about Earth. We live on Earth.
Yeah.
That's how the scale got bigger. It was a planet at stake for things we just fucking met, other than Piccolo. We knew what Namekians were because we met Piccolo, right? But up until we got to Planet Namek, we didn't know there was a fucking Planet Namek.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know what the fuck Namekians were. Piccolo was just fucking Piccolo.
Yeah.
Then we got to Planet Namek.
We knew he was something.
Okay, Planet Namek is at stake. That's not good, but okay. Right. Then the next arc, Cell/Android arc, the fate of the world is at stake. Because
that's a big deal now.
That's a big deal. It's grown. The escalation has grown.
Yeah.
Then we go from Saiyan arc. We go from Android/Cell arc to Boo. Now the universe is at risk.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And when I say the universe, I don't literally mean like the literal universe. I just mean more than Earth was at stake. Boo literally teleported like into fucking Elder Kai world. And it was about to blow up Elder Kai planet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like literally throughout the course, the arcs of Dragon Ball, the scales constantly grew, right? And again, it's not necessarily that it has to physically get bigger and physically get crazier, but it's just the fact that you have to keep me enticed. Yeah. Things can't stay still. You have to keep me on edge of, oh my God, if my characters lose, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
But in My Hero,
it definitely struggled to do that.
It struggled to do that.
Yeah.
Every villain came along and was like, I just want to take over the city, or I want to blow up the city up, or I just want to kill everybody.
And it's like, okay.
Okay. That's what the last guy said. That's what the last guy was doing. So the scales never really grew. And then half the fucking villains are, I just want to stop heroes from being heroes because I don't think they deserve to be heroes anymore.
Which, if explained properly, actually, is a grand scale. It wasn't.
You just
explained.
Had multiple fucking villains doing the exact same thing, just in a different way.
Yeah. They weren't doing it, to me, on a serious scale. They were doing it on like a little, like, rob convenience store kind of sale.
Yeah.
So
scale.
It's just,
I got bored.
Yeah. And I felt that way a little after you fell off. Like, but like, you know, I muddle through things. Like, I just kind of push through, and it kept me for a little bit. But then, like, I think the thing that made me fall off before getting back on the horse was like, there was this arc with Lady Goodnight, and you'll probably never see this because you just pick up wherever I am essentially and just roll with it because you didn't really miss much. The heroes lost. It is what it is. But like, I felt like that whole arc, it was like 6 episodes, and it was pointless. Like, the only thing that was not pointless of that arc is what happened afterwards. Of like Midori kind of coming back to like himself, because he went full on vigilante, like, you know, like he went kind of my coworker says dark, but that wasn't really dark. Dark to me is like, you're killing people. He was still saving people, you know, he wasn't Batman out there. But like Lady Knight's arc was literally at first it was cool because she was like a sharpshooter. And it was one of those body augmentations. She could turn her hair into bullets, and her fucking arm was a sniper rifle, you know? But like it...
But that's rare, though.
But that's rare.
That's rare. Only a very small percent of the population has physical body augmentations.
But, we're not even gonna talk about Hawks. This nigga got real-ass wings.
Big-ass bird wings.
But like, Lady Goodnight was like... First, I genuinely thought she was cool. Like, you know how I am about sharpshooters. Like, she was dope. But then they gave us her backstory, and she literally just was like, she was a corporate lapdog without realizing she was a lapdog, and then just threw a temper tantrum about it. And I'm like, you just made that whole arc make me not care anymore because you shallowed her out. Like, that was it. That was all it was. Like, you're mad because you followed orders like a good little doggy, and then when someone said, why didn't you ask them what it was for, you started to question, and then you got shut out by said corporate that was making you follow orders, and decided to rebel. Shallow.
Yeah.
Super shallow.
I always say that every character doesn't need to be humanized.
She was so shallow.
Yeah, whether it's a villain or a hero, every character doesn't always have to have these quote-unquote deep-rooted backstories. Sometimes a character can just be a character, and it seems like she may have been a character that would have worked out better just as a character.
Just as a character.
I don't need 2 episodes of her backstory because it's
6.
Well, yeah. You know what I mean? And like, again, I didn't watch it, so I can't really say yay or nay about this, but like, it just, I've said it over and over again. Every character does not need to be super deep rooted and blah, 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 blah. Sometimes it does work better for a character to just be a character. That's it.
If you literally take out her arc and continue from where, like, just showing me like how he was, like, ever so slightly, and just take out those 6 episodes and replace it with just like other random activities that he did, it still would have been fine, and he still would have gotten to the point of where he was, of like the people accepting him and, you know, not going crazy vigilante style, essentially. You know, I'm paraphrasing, but like, because there's more emotion and feeling towards it. But like, I think that that's truly a terribly written character. And I mean, you've said that before too, where like, if I can take this thing out of this show and it's still this show, it didn't need to be there.
Yeah, it didn't need to be there.
It didn't need to be there. And she genuinely didn't need to be there. And I'm pretty sure she's dead, if I'm not mistaken, which, I mean, I don't remember, but like, cause I don't remember because it made me feel like, not shitty, but like I just didn't like it. It upset me. So I tried to write it off in my brain, but I'm pretty sure she's dead. And I think that that is literally the only reason that arc happened, which is even more shallow for the show because Midori had never killed anybody before. And that was our intro to him having to kill, because at the end of the day, he has to kill our main villain. Because there's no bringing him back. Because that was Midori's whole thing. If I could just talk to him, if I could just do this. And I'm like, no, you've been shown that with multiple other villains. Overhaul. There was no talking him down. You couldn't do that. He didn't care. And that's the thing that, like, I think irritated me and probably you with Midori, is like he was unchanging in that factor, and it was like, no, you need to evolve, not just as a hero but as a person, as an adult who wants to be in this adult working world. Unfortunately, all villains don't get to live. Some of them will not stop. And it's ridiculous, but that's a Batman problem. He don't kill Joker. He always just keeps locking him up.
He doesn't attempt to kill any of his villains.
He doesn't attempt to kill anybody, except for when he gets old man Batman, because then he's just accidentally killing him because he ain't got time for that shit. But, like, it took him to get there for it to happen. And it's like, no, you would have stopped a lot of stuff already if you had just, unfortunately, taken him off the battlefield completely. And I get it. I mean, sometimes there's a story and it, like, you have to continue like that, but I don't think that needed to be Midori's story. However, in spite of all that, the new episode of the new season is great because they're opening up the world.
Like I said,
we've always been like in Japan, and it's like, well, this world isn't just Japan, it's the whole world.
Like I said,
and now we're getting freaking America.
They weren't growing in scale.
They weren't
now
growing.
The show is growing in scale. We're involving other countries, other characters, other worlds, other groups. So now maybe that'll change. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
We're actually also kind of like learning how powerful, like, we already knew All Might was pretty powerful, but for a character that they introduced to us, what was it, Star and Stripes? Something I think, like that. Star and Stripe. For her, after seeing her power scale, and for her to call him her master, and like actually worldly, globally, they said All Might is the symbol of peace. And I'm just like, all right, cool. I just thought it was Japan. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but he is legitimately the symbol of peace.
Have we seen all of his abilities yet? Like all of the one for all? Wait. Yeah, have we seen all of the one for all? Am I saying that right? All for one and one for all.
One for all is All Might.
Okay. Have we seen all of that, of the one for all abilities yet? Because there's 4 of them, I think? 5 of them?
We haven't seen all of them, no.
Okay.
One of them, we actually
Yeah, it hasn't revealed.
One of them, well, no, the first one, we actually see, like, his is constant, because he's the one that, his quirk is to pass off quirks.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But that's
so, like, that's, yeah.
I know that there was, like, yeah, every time it passes from hero to hero, if they have a natural quirk, their natural quirk gets absorbed into
it. Yeah.
of powers.
Yeah.
And he's been getting them revealed to him little by little as he needs them. I'm like, has he gotten all of them yet?
I think we've only seen 4. And I think
total.
I think a part of is there 9 of them?
I don't know.
I think there's 9 of them.
I thought it was like 5.
No, there's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Like a ton of them, actually. Like, we've seen, like, him with his little whips. We've seen him with, like, a smoke. There's some minor ones that we've seen where he gets, like, one person's quirk was, like, intense perception or, like, awareness.
So
he
like,
got, like, a spidey sense.
Is it, like, 9 main ones and then there's, like, a bunch of little ones?
No,
okay.
The 9 are it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not like, there's not like offshoots or anything small. Those are it. Like,
I don't know, like,
and as far as we know, the last 2 actually don't have quirks, so it's just like Midori is 9.
Yeah. No,
and then All Might, who admitted he didn't have a quirk prior.
Yeah.
so it's like
technically there's only like 6.
There's only like
Yeah,
technically,
I don't remember there being that. I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think I'm saying it in a sense of like how many have been passed down, and that's like 9. But yeah, I guess if we're really thinking about all their powers, it's not totally 9, because I would even write off like the first guy, the original, because his was just to like pass it off. He was quirkless. He was quirkless, and then his brother gave him a quirk, and then he was able to pass off said quirk. Like, it awakened later in his life. Or at least that's what I'm gathering from the backstory that they are showing. But I like that. I currently like the direction they're going, and I need them to continue to grow. Otherwise, you can kiss the top 3 goodbye.
Yeah,
like, it's not even going to be a... Like, it's not even going to be a challenge. Like,
I won't intently watch it. I'll watch it here and there and see how it goes, see if it draws me back in. I mean, it's... I don't know. I just kind of... The show, like, once I fell off of it, there's just too many things about it that I started to realize that I kind of just don't like.
Yeah.
It also has... It has an old school way of drawing out fights, and there's only a handful of anime that I can deal with that anymore, and it's not even that I can deal with it, it's just these anime are special, like One Piece.
Yeah.
You know? Like, One Piece draws out fights, and it's not that One Piece is special in that regard, it's just, it's old, and it's already earned its place, so I'm gonna put up with it.
It's like, yep, that's all.
Same thing with like Dragon Ball Super. I just put up with it.
Yeah.
You know? But like, I don't know, like it just gets not monotonous, but like, I don't know, it feels
we don't need that from new anime.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
I really haven't enjoyed these like anime that just get to the point.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like Sumo. I enjoyed it. It just fucking starts.
Yeah, it just starts. Yeah.
It just fucking goes. You know? They're talking about the tournament, and then like an episode later, they're at the tournament.
They're at the tournament, yeah.
Or like Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
You know? He goes and he trains for like 2 episodes, and then it's arc 1.
Yeah.
I'm over-exaggerating here. But like...
Well, yeah, it got to the point.
Like, it's not...
Props to UFO Table, because I really didn't think they could write a good MC.
Arc 1, but like, he goes and trains for a little bit, and then shit starts happening. He starts fighting demons.
Yeah.
Like, boom, bam, it's happening.
Yeah.
Going for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
I'm tired of these anime that's like, we gotta build it up for 15 episodes. I'm getting tired of that. Like, sure, build up the final fight. You know?
Yeah.
Sure, build up the final fight. Sure. That's fine.
That's different, though.
Why am I waiting 5 episodes for the first confrontation? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And like, you know, I guess this the episode we watched yesterday was the first episode of the new season.
Of the new season, yeah.
So, like, yeah, they did a little something. You know, they introduced Star and Stripe, or whatever her name is.
I think it is Star and Stripe, right?
Cassie, I think, is her non-hero name.
Yeah, Cassie.
Like, they introduced her, and, like, it was a straight-up fight. Like, you know, she got to it, and it was pretty epic, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know, it just... It's slow-paced isn't the right word. I guess badly paced is probably the word. Badly paced. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of dealing with it. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Speaking of slightly, I mean, I don't think it's badly paced. Maybe if we analyze it too much, it might sound badly paced, but I think they're pacing it really good, is Ring Monster.
No, I don't think that show's badly paced, honestly.
I think it's doing what it's supposed to do. In my opinion.
So, seriously, like, that is an anime that you're both supposed to take somewhat serious, but then also not serious at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He
literally fucks every episode.
It's walking the balance between being, and I'm not saying this in terms of, like, it's exactly like it. I'm talking about in the level of seriousness.
Yeah.
It's very in between, like, One Punch Man and Demon Slayer.
And yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very walking.
It rides that line.
Yeah, It rides the line because, like, it is very quirky, very goofy, very, like, over the top, very funny, very just, like, casual, but there is seriousness happening, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there is stuff building up, there is stuff happening, there is stuff going on, you know? Like, and, like, things will happen that are serious. He just kind of nonchalantly tells us about it, though. Or it nonchalantly, like, just unfolds it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, what, episode, like, 2 or 3, we find out the goblins literally kidnap women and rape them.
But that's what goblins do.
Because that's what goblins do. That's how they reproduce. All right.
Or at least that's what the lore has always told us.
It just kind of unfolds it and it's like, yep,
that's there.
That's what happens.
You figure it out.
Or
you don't. You shouldn't watch this anime. Like,
Bro fucking brutally eats everything he finds.
Everything. Also,
you know what
goblins do.
Again, it kind of unfolds it in a kind of a nonchalant way.
Yeah.
So it walks the line between the seriousness of an anime or shonen like Demon Slayer, but then also the goofy over the topness of like One Piece of One Punch Man. You know,
Punch Man
walks that line of goofiness.
Yeah.
You know, and I enjoy it. Again, not really meant to take it heavily serious. Just have a good time with it. Enjoy it. Have fun. I'm happy that the anime hasn't changed yet. Yeah. I was really expecting it to, like, because I really enjoy how, like, it does, like, doom, doom, and then it shows you what day it is.
What day it is.
And then he monologues it.
Yep.
I thought it was going to do that until he became, like, what he is.
What he is, yeah.
And then I thought it was just going to basically be, like fucking that time.
Yeah.
Reincarnated.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to become like that.
Yeah.
It was just going to be him doing shit and fucking exploring.
It's not even,
No, it's still the exact same doom, doom.
I mean, like, they just took it
I love it.
They just took to heart the don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, it's did its own thing and it's not changing its own thing.
Absolutely.
So that I really enjoy.
Yeah. It's super good. I do think I am ready for our main character to have a slight challenge.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, he's a little OP. Yeah, he's a little bit. And it's like, well, what should you be fighting? Because, like, he's declared that they're a mercenary group now, and, like, that's cool and all well and done, but, like, you slaughter people now. Like, it's not even a fight.
My one takeaway is the same thing that I say with all isekai. I think isekai is a lazy story method.
Everything's isekai.
Yeah, it's a lazy story method to me. And, you know, I was talking to a buddy of mine, Daniel, who is, you know, very versed in this stuff. And, you know, he said that's literally the point of isekai.
Yeah.
Is effectively it is to jumpstart the story in the world. You know, we don't have to go through an entire arc of world building.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I
think too much of it is a bad thing, though. Like
I've already said it before.
There's so many isekais.
I've already said it before. Like, if the fact that your character is from another world isn't important, then why is he from another world?
Yeah. Why even bother?
Why even bother?
Yeah.
Because you literally, like, so far, again, I don't know if maybe down the line something might be different, but so far, you could take out the fact that Remonster, that he's isekai'd, literally just start him as an ogre.
Just
that's
goblin.
the first or as a goblin. Boom, he's a goblin. And the anime would still work exactly the same.
Yeah,
now,
pretty
some
much.
people would argue, I get it, some people would argue, oh, well, the reason he decided to be the way he is because he's from another world, right? Not necessarily.
Well, I don't even think it's that. It's his past. Like, and he's said that, like, he's like, I'm going to try something different because clearly in my last life, this didn't work.
That's due to the fact that he's from another world.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yes.
Past in another world.
In another world, yeah.
Yeah. But again, if you change that, he could still be the same person because all these goblins, we see how unique all of these goblins are.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's like the not important goblins, but like the main character goblins, they're all just goblins who were born into this world and they're all unique as fuck. So for us to get a goblin that would have his persona and mentality is possible.
Yeah.
Hell, his fucking number one, the big red one, is very akin to him.
Gabaru?
Wants that Gabaru, I think. I don't know.
Gabi? I don't know.
He constantly wants growth and to get stronger and to learn.
Yeah.
He's the exact same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They even got a little romance in there for him.
Yeah, like, so, again, if the fact that your character is isekai'd isn't relevant to the fact that they're isekai'd, then just don't do it. Just don't do it.
It's not necessary.
It's not
necessary all the time.
Yeah, it's not necessary. It's really not necessary.
There's a lot of anime that, like, just kind of start and it's just like, oh,
yeah,
this is better.
Like Jobless Reincarnation.
Well, that
one does matter that he's from another world because that one, arguing his motif and the way he thinks, is 100% based on the fact that he's from another world.
I mean, he's like 16, but he's actually 40 on top of that.
If you did remove that, then it wouldn't make sense anymore. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, they had a whole...
tried to just have that anime with him as a baby and trying to learn magic, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
It actually would not make sense.
But they also, like, they actually, what a lot of isekai doesn't do is, like, come back to how that person was. They make a lot of, like, arcs about him coming back. Like, he had a whole arc of, like, being depressed, and that was because of how he was in his other world.
Exactly.
And
like, I like that.
Like, and it made him,
and the fact that it's an isekai is relevant.
Yeah. Granted, now that the world that he is in, like, helped him overcome that a little bit, you know, it's still a part of him, but, like, and even on a, it's not funny because there's nothing funny about erectile dysfunction, but, like, there was a whole arc literally actually about that, but it was on a serious note.
Yeah.
Because he won't fuck.
Like I said.
But at the same time, that was a lot of what he was like when he was in his past life.
Yeah. And like I said, like, to me, if you're gonna use a story method, make that story method worthwhile.
Yeah.
I just think it's lazy if you're gonna, and it's not even just isekai specifically, it's any story motif. If you're not gonna use it, don't use it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you're gonna use it, make it relevant.
Make it relevant.
Make it relevant.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I do like Remonster a lot. It's also awesome how all the titles are re and then a play on a whole word. Yeah.
Like
that's pretty
re
awesome.
and like Addy is ready.
Reborn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
It's good. It's good. It's super like it's catchy. Yeah.
Red Bear.
Red Bear. Yeah, that one was a little hard. Because it was like D Bear. Why did we capitalize the D? But they're all capitalized, the first letters after re. But yeah, that one's really good. I think everyone should check it out. Just it's like you said for your other anime, for Zom 100. It's a good time.
Yeah.
And I think that's everyone needs that kind of anime. Just a good time. And last but not least, Tadaima Okairi. You're not really going to have much to say on this one because you're not into boy love, and that's totally fine. but I am heavily into boy love. And I actually, like, in all seriousness, I'm actually happy that they're releasing this kind of genre in boy love. And it's like, boy love has this like really intense genre of like an offshoot genre of like betas and alphas, because like love is love, and if a beta is just so happens to be a male, falls in love with an alpha male, it is what it is, because it's like that's just what they're innately attracted to. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're actually like two men. And it's really primal, I guess, is what it is. But like this is actually really cute, because it's about this small little family, and it's like I think he's a beta, and this alpha are like married. You know, they don't go too deep into like how they met and stuff like that. They do like little flashbacks here and there, but like these two met and like had a kid. That's the other thing about alpha and betas. Like the betas have children, like they actually come to term with pregnancy, and it's like how their body's made or whatever. But like they have a kid, and this kid is an alpha, but like it's like them raising a family in a world that hates them being together. And it like really speaks volumes to like how not just like gay love, but like all love that's not quote unquote society's like man and woman kind of deal is like it's perfect. And it's super cute, because it's like they got like this little son and now a daughter that like like it like breaks your heart kind of cute, like because he's the like alpha dad is like so mushy and so like loving, but like everyone knows him as a hard ass, but he has no qualms with like overly loving his son. Like there was a part in an episode where one of his I think it was his friend or it was his father, it was one or the other, and he was like, hey, do you think your son looks good in this? And the father's immediate response without hesitation was like, that's a dumb question, my son looks good in everything. I was just dead. And it's like, that's hilarious, but at the same time I guess it's kind of like a rom-com, because like if you take away the boy aspect, if you just put a man and a woman, it'd still be the same. But I am proud that like not only just Crunchyroll, but like the anime world as a whole is like allowing this genre to happen, because it wasn't really a thing for a long time. Like, and I mean like prominent, you know, we've had our things over the history of anime where it's like, that person's definitely gay, or, you know, or that person's a crossdresser, or, you know, things that like in society's rules, quote unquote, is unacceptable. But like, we're also the ones that like, and I say we, like all our people in like their 30s are kind of accepting. Like, I always use this as an example is Orion Host Club. Like, we have all these gender rules now and things like that, but like at the same time, she was pretty gender fluid, and I guess not asexual. What would you call her? Like, because she like didn't care about what you looked like. It was all about what was on the inside. I know that's actually a label for that now, but that was more or less like what we were introduced to stuff like that. And even taking it a step further, her father, who was a heterosexual male, enjoyed to dress up as a woman. Like, it set him free. He loved it. And he loved it, actually, like, before his wife. Like, it wasn't, like, it was just a thing that he did, like, randomly, until he decided to take it seriously. And that's, like, drag. That's drag. Granted, there's in drag, there's a lot more non-heterosexual people involved, but like, it was drag. It is what it is. And that's my like short little tidbit on Tadaima and Okaeri, which actually is even more cute because it translates to like welcome home and like goodbye. So it's not even like titled like boy love or anything. It's just Okairi and Tadaima, like welcome and goodbye. Only when coming home. I didn't mention this, but the other thing we recently watched was Ninja Kamui. How did you like that?
It was pretty good. I mean, I only watched like 1 or 2 episodes, so I gotta give it a little more time. But it was pretty good.
Yeah, you're definitely marinating on it a little bit. I got to like 7, but like kind of didn't want it to end. But then I noticed there was like new episodes, so maybe it's still going, and I don't need to pace myself so much. But like, it was really good. Like the action was there. You did point out that it was weird that they like move their mouth for every single thing, and I never really thought about it.
The sound in the actual art, it's not that it's desynced, but it does have like it's like they wanted it to be slightly more detailed in the mouth animations.
It's overly in sync.
Yeah, it's like
what it feels like. Yeah,
almost like they're trying to be overly in sync.
Yeah,
because it's not off sync. It's not. That's not what it is. At least I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, it looked weird. That was the only thing. It looks weird when they talk. Like,
I think because I've experienced anime like that, it doesn't like bother me. And kind of like your rule of like, this is the world they gave me, it is what it is. That's kind of how I am with like a lot of anime like that. This is just that.
I'm not going to say that.
I'm still getting all the information across, and I'm still getting all the action.
I'm not going to say it's bad for that reason. It just, I noticed it.
It throws you off a little. Yeah.
And then like the other thing is like a lot of the characters are really dry. Like in their, not character, like in their design.
We are watching it in English.
Yeah, in their delivery of the lines. It literally just looks like people reading off of a paper. Like its art looks like. Sounds like people just reading off of a paper. Like there's no real character behind their words.
Yeah.
Like they're not becoming the character.
Yeah.
They were just told, hey, read these lines.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I mean, that might have to do with
that could
like.
also be an artistic style.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe I'm misinterpreting it, and that was part of their artistic flair. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep going and keep hammering out how we feel about it, really. And then last but not least, Supernatural. Matt, I feel like I've been watching this shit for months. Has it been literal months? Like, even before our wedding, it's been happening, right? Like, is that... Oh, I think I started it after my surgery.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. We're talking like September of last year for sure if it's like after my surgery. And like, I don't know. I did take some breaks here and there. But I'm just surprised I didn't actually watch it. But I think because I didn't watch it was because like during that time it was a lot of cable and not like Netflix or anything like that. They weren't as big as they were when that first started, and like Supernatural was really hard to follow on TV because you would never catch the right episode at the right time for it to be congruent story. And like it just, I don't know. I love and hate it. Like I think I fell off on like the arc where Dean was like a demon because it was just like I can't even pinpoint like why I didn't like it or like what made me like want to take a break after watching that. Maybe just like binge exhaustion happened at that time, but like it just, I don't know, it felt different for whatever reason. And now I'm on like season 13 of 15. And I can't wait till we get to the Scooby-Doo episode because that's where that is. But it's really good. It does get like a lot of like rinse and repeat. Like Sam and Dean go into a fight. Oh no, Sam got knocked out. Dean got shoved and the gun slid across the room. Like it definitely has that feel. But like after you've realized that that's the feel, you're kind of already committed and you're just like, yep, that's what's happening. It's okay. What else is new? What's Crowley up to? What's Cass up to? Who's currently dead right now? I'm actually really sad about that. But, like, I mean, I don't know. Like, you're semi-watching it with me. Like, how does it make you feel? Like, do you feel like it's a, like, decent show overall? Or, like, not really?
I mean, it's alright.
That's it? That's all you got? Wow.
Yeah. It's alright.
Needless to say, I'm going to finish it. So it is what it is. But I think we should start wrapping this up because you can't hang no more. You an old man.
It's late.
Yeah, you an old man.
I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. Old man.
I
So
went airsofting today, so.
Oh yeah, you did go airsofting today.
I'm very tired on energy.
I'm tired on energy. That doesn't make any sense.
Well,
but
I'm
like,
sticking to it.
Yeah, I could see that. You're
on energy.
Yeah, okay. Sell it. Whatever. To wrap things up, I wanna get your opinion. What are you excited to watch next? Give me like top 2. Or 1, honestly. You could have 1. And then I'll tell you what I'm excited for you to watch.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. And then anime-wise?
I don't know. I don't know what's coming out.
You got a whole list.
Oh, I don't memorize that whole list.
Oh, Jesus.
And there's a lot of stuff on it that's only in Japanese still, so I don't know when I'm going to get to it.
That's true. There's a lot. I mean, needless to say, he probably doesn't remember this list because I make it for him. That's our little, I guess, our quality time when it comes to anime. But I think I really, like, for you, I am really, really hoping that you would give Hunter x Hunter a shot again.
We'll see.
You're older.
I'll think about it.
You're older. And then I would actually be really excited for you to watch either Gungrave or Ghost Hunt.
I did see Gungrave. I'm kind of excited for that.
Gungrave is like, I think it's like up there on my like top 10 of anime. I could rewatch Gungrave. Like, I will rewatch Gungrave with you. And it's like, I watched that in English, like, and I loved every bit of it. And I also then watched it subbed, but then like it also still loved every bit of it, and it was amazing. And Ghost Hunt, I don't know, you're a little scaredy cat. Maybe we'll watch it during the daytime, not before you go to sleep, because then you're gonna think there's ghosts everywhere, or that I'm a ghost. That's usually your play, that I'm some sort of monster for whatever reason. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'm excited for you to watch. And I think that I'm kind of excited to get back into Demon Slayer when it comes back, which is pretty soon from what I understand. It's almost there. And I'm waiting for it to finish, but oddly enough, Black Butler. Like, it's a mystery anime, and I think that that's my crutch. Like, I love mystery animes. I love buddy cops. Like, you hate that stuff, but I love it. And Black Butler was my, like, I've already told you, Sebastian's bae. Like, I want a full-on body pillow of him, but like, I love that anime. I've watched all of them. Every arc, even the circus one, like, it was great. So I'm sure this one is going to be no different. But, like, because I've watched Black Butler as, like, a binge, it's really hard to watch it episodic. So I'm just going to wait for that to give it some time. And then as far as non-anime, I mean, quite literally, I'm on season 13. I've got like 2 more seasons to go. I'm in the beginning of season 13. That's probably what I'm going to be watching. Mainly is just Supernatural the whole time. But I am excited for Deadpool and Wolverine as far as like movies go.
Next time, I guess we got to talk about Fallout.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
we forgot about Fallout.
We didn't forget about it. I just think that that's a whole episode all on its own.
Yep. That's a lot.
Because we're talking multimedia here now. You know, we got to talk about the game. We got to talk about the show.
We'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that said, I think we're going to sign off and take our old asses to bed. And
Good night.
He's already signed off. We'll see you later next time, nerds. Peace and love.
Hello there, nerds. I just want to give a quick shout out to Anchor. They have made it possible for me to make my own podcast out of my own home, do it rather quickly, and be able to do it how I want to do it. And they are just amazing. It's great editing. It's wonderful for beginners and experts. I highly recommend it if you want to start your own podcast. They're also linked with Spotify, so everything is streamlined and I don't have to worry about copying, pasting it anywhere. It's already on a very popular platform, and if you're looking to start your own podcast, Anchor is it for you. Till next time, peace and love, nerds.